And now everybody can hear you and all your ridiculous opinions. That's it.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Hey, everybody.
Hi there.
Oh, yeah. We're going to start recording episode 158. So today we're going to be talking about the Hugo Awards.
The Hugo Awards.
And the short stories, because we read a lot of
both. Yeah, we've done pretty well this year, I think.
Thanks,
but
man.
save some of that magic for later.
All right. So I'm going to start the podcast.
Okay.
Here we go. Hold on. Episode 158.
Yep.
Oop. I got this right in front of my screen. Here we go. Welcome to episode 158 of the All the Books Show, recorded at the David A. Howe Public Library, where we talk book news, author news, and literary news. Literary news means literary awards.
That's right.
But also
that means we'll get to hear the fun literary awards theme made by our friend
That's right.
Ben Lehman. That's great. We're going to be talking about the Hugo Awards, folks.
Yeah.
So I love the Hugo Awards because they're fan-driven, you know?
Yeah.
They're made by people who are actually a part of that community.
Yeah, most of the time. Just
Oh,
kidding. No, leave the politics outside,
That's
you
true.
SOB.
Every year we cut a long segment of Eric ranting about the various factions within the Hugo. So
Yeah, every year.
But now you can't do it.
Is this the third? Fourth year.
Yeah,
this
I
would be
guess
the
so.
third year.
I
So
guess
this
so.
year, I'm not even going to talk about them, so I don't have to edit out anything.
I think that's wise. That would save some time.
But yeah, every year I've done the long spiel and I don't even complain. I just explain them. I'm going to cut this part out.
Get it out, yeah.
All right, let's move on
Snip
so
it.
I don't have to do this. I'm Eric Mickles.
And I'm Nick Gunning,
Nice.
and we already did all that.
We did?
Would you like to
No,
dive
we
right
did the
into?
intro. I didn't say I'm Eric Mickles.
Would you like to dive right into bookmark?
Yeah, I guess we have to.
All right. I had a busy week, ladies and gentlemen. So
Okay.
let me tell you some of the things.
Braggy McBrag
I'm
pants
not
is
bragging.
back.
I'm just saying.
No, you're right.
This is a thing that happened.
Yeah.
I read a couple of graphic novels, so I'm going to start
Braggy
with those.
McBrag pants.
First up, I read Nightwing Volume 3, Nightwing Must Die. Now,
Must he?
well,
Yes.
this had a lot of Batman fans. Are you familiar with Professor Pig? And do your
Oh, my
eyes glaze
word.
over when you hear the word Professor Pig? Because,
Mine do, yeah.
Yeah, everything that Professor Pig was in, I hated. The rest
Yeah.
of it, I liked pretty well.
You know what?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense because Grant Morrison's Batman run, his
Yeah.
Batman and Robin run, where Batman was supposedly dead,
Yeah.
Nightwing was Batman,
Yes.
and Damian was
A
the
lot.
Robin.
It's a lot going on.
The title of Volume 3 was called Batman and Robin, Batman Must Die, and it had Robin planning to attack
I
on the
see.
cover. And Professor Pig, I think, was a big part of that
Interesting.
series.
Okay, they did. I guess I haven't read that series, but image-wise, they did a lot of callbacks.
Yeah.
So I read that. That's
So
a
there
rather
you go.
new comic, and then I also read a Golden Age collection of Superboy, which was not good.
All right.
It's just very, I don't know.
Wait, is that all you have to say about the Nightwing thing? You've been hating on Nightwing, and now you're back.
I liked this one pretty well, but like I told you, all the Professor Pig stuff was just
Right.
weird
But
and
all
dumb.
the
and I
Damian
didn't like it.
stuff was what you liked.
The relationship between Damian and Nightwing were pretty good.
You love it.
actually, I did like that. I have to admit.
Okay.
But on to Superboy. This is about the original young Clark Kent Superboy. These stories are from the 40s.
Right.
And I don't think I've read a lot of Jerry Siegel, Joe Shuster, the original Superman stuff.
Yeah,
So
few people alive today have.
it was interesting to read. It was interesting for its historical element.
Right.
But I was not a fan.
Well, they didn't know what they were doing. They
Yeah,
were making up as
yeah.
they went.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of
So-
supervillains. It was mostly just Clark helping other kids. It was like if the Little Rascals had Superboy
Right.
as a cast member.
Well, it's
pretty much what
it's
we're looking at.
Superman. Well, it's Superboy, but
Yeah.
in Smallville.
Right.
So what's happening? Yeah.
Actually, no. It predates Smallville. He's just chilling in Metropolis.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
I know.
Cool.
I know. So I'm glad to have read it because I'm an
glad
old
you have
school
read it.
fan, but I wouldn't recommend it. So no need.
Okay.
No need to pick that up.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. What else? What else did I read? Oh, well, I read another kind of disappointing thing.
Go on.
Alan Alda's Things I Overheard While Talking to Myself.
Poor Alan Alda.
I'm a
He
big
didn't
Alan
need
Alda
that.
fan,
Apparently not.
Well, the book was just, it was just kind of braggy. It had this arrogance where a lot of it was him talking about college commencement speeches he's given, and then just sort of talking about the advice he gave people. And I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't know.
Do you think it's the way you're describing it is the way I imagine Alan Alda to be in real
yeah,
life?
probably. But in the book, it was just sort of okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know that you're a great philosopher. You just seem like a good actor, and so
Yeah.
I was disappointed with it.
What's your
And
favorite Alan Alda thing?
my favorite Alan Alda thing.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of MASH, so I mean, I guess that's probably what you go to.
Suicide is easy.
I know, dark title. I'll tell you, I hate the book MASH.
I saw the movie MASH.
Terrible book. He's great in ER. He does a run in ER,
Uh-huh.
and he's very good in The West Wing.
And 30 Rock.
Oh, in 30 Rock, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I'm never disappointed when Alan Alda shows up in something.
Okay.
So I wasn't a fan of that.
What about that Eddie Murphy, Ben Stiller Tower Heist movie?
Oh, yes. Well, that's just a stinker all around. I don't even know why you're bringing it up. Here are some of the current things that I'm reading. All right. And they are. Let's see.
What are you reading?
I'm trying to get there. People are talking to me, surprised that I've never seen MASH. I'm sorry. I'll watch more MASH. Let's see. I am currently reading The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. So she wrote, she's another thriller that came out a year or so back, but this has been pretty good. It's a little. Is everything okay? You're just staring at me. Okay. The book is about 3 girls go missing at it's like a summer camp, and then 15 years later they open the camp, and one of the original campers comes back. It's a little. It feels contrived, I guess. The plot. It hasn't really grabbed me. It's been one of those ones where like I read and read and read, and I'm like, wow, 10 pages, huh? Because that felt like 100. So it's not that I'm hating it. I just don't think it's really working. It feels like it's trying to go for that. I hate to call out Gone Girl, but it feels like it's trying to go for that vibe.
No more.
And it's just not. It's not hitting it right. So, it might shake out in the end. I might enjoy it.
So you're saying it's more.
The Woman in Cabin 10.
Well, I was gonna say it's more like Meatballs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, more. If Meatballs was a little bit more murdery, I think.
Gone Girl meets Meatballs.
Gone Girl meets. Wow. Why isn't that the tagline?
Yeah.
That'd be a great tagline.
All right.
I'm reading Then Again by Diane Keaton.
Yeah, are you on a biography kick?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Thanks for
a
noticing.
celebrity biography.
Yeah,
kick.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it was David Sedaris who got it started again, and then I have been kind of going through. I've just been in the mood for it. So I'm liking this Diane Keaton one so far.
That sigh was more about me realizing, like, yeah, I do notice you're reading patterns.
Oh,
so
well,
it's
thank
just
you.
a thing. Yeah.
Well, it's nice to be.
It's like,
noticed
hey,
and
he's eating
appreciated.
cheese again, and he's reading biographies. So these are the things I know about you.
Yeah, well, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway, Then Again by Diane Keaton.
Yeah.
And
Is
finally,
she as obnoxious as Alan Alda's?
No,
she's more
she
likable.
seems very much like the Diane Keaton you would expect if you've seen any Diane Keaton movies.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: do you have a favorite Diane Keaton movie?
Oh, I guess I have to say
Annie Hall. Yeah.
Because I don't know what else I would pick.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, Something's Got to Give is great.
I guess she's good in Father of the Bride, but there's
Yeah,
not much
she
of a role
is.
there.
Yeah, you're right.
So-
You're right. Something's Got to Give is up there. Annie Hall is great. Most of her Woody Allen stuff is good. I read that play. What's that called?
I don't know.
Play It Again, Sam.
Okay.
It was like where she met Woody Allen and they debuted in this play. I don't really like the play very much, but I think it would probably work staged.
All right. Was she in Anastasia, the Don Bluth animated film?
No, I think you're thinking of Meg Ryan.
No, I was thinking of John Cusack. And for a second, I almost said Joan Cusack.
I don't even. Oh, well, he did play her love interest in Something's Got to Give. Is that what you were going for? If it is, I'll be impressed.
No, you know what? I was thinking of Kelsey Grammer because we were just talking about Frasier before we started recording.
Yes, we were.
Yeah. Or Hank Azaria? Look, it doesn't matter. Christopher Lloyd's in that
fine.
movie.
Whatever.
I will list everybody in.
I think you have by this point. Angela Lansbury. And now we're done.
Yeah.
We're done. Finally, for graphic novels, I'm
Kirsten
reading.
Dunst is in it.
Is she really?
At the beginning. She plays young Anastasia.
Oh, I had a crush on her.
But then Lacey...
Not in Anastasia.
Lacey
but
Chambray.
Yeah, sure.
She plays the singing young Anastasia. So you have Kirsten Dunst playing young, and then that song "Once Upon a December."
Yeah.
That's Lacey Chambray.
Oh,
Once upon a December.
I know the song.
Yeah, okay.
And finally, for graphic novels, I'm reading Batgirl Volume 2, Family Business.
Yeah, this is because James Gordon was Batman for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Batman was dead again.
I don't know what that's
Kind
all
of. He
about.
wasn't.
Was
he had
really?
amnesia. And Scott Snyder's Batman, him and the Joker had a big old fight. And then Batman was missing, and people thought he was dead. Maybe.
Oh, okay, but he was fine.
Yeah,
don't tell me.
He had amnesia.
All right. I watched some movies over the weekend.
Fake amnesia.
Okay.
Repressed amnesia.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, that could work.
Stop calling me a doctor. Doctor?
My brother, a frequent guest to the show, Steve, and I took my son to the movies, to Charcoal Corral.
Your son has never guessed.
Ran into Jessica, who works here at the library at the Charcoal Corral.
Oh, my
and we were all seeing
word.
Christopher Robin, starring Ewan McGregor, which is just tonally a weird movie.
Yeah, well.
I just don't know. Like, Steve and I just sat there being like, who is this for? Because it's not like colorful or particularly entertaining for a child. And it's not like enough of a real movie to really, it was fine, but I don't understand who they were aiming for.
My 22-year-old sister saw it, loved it, and cried. So I think it's for
22-year-old. All right.
Yeah.
Mid-20s. I don't understand them. So
what
are you
I might cry. I mean, she just loves Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
I have an affection for Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I
Do
love
you remember the Winnie the Pooh
sure.
show from the 90s?
Yes.
Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh Bear.
I can go even older though, because mine was Pooh Corner, the one with.
Oh,
where they're
yeah,
in, like,
the live action, yeah.
I loved that.
I can go there, too.
That and Dumbo's Circus.
Oh, I don't
those
remember.
were
Maybe
for
I
me.
do. Was Alice in any of them?
Alice?
Yeah, I remember Alice. I remember there was an Alice in Wonderland live action Disney thing as well.
There was?
Yeah.
Oh.
There was
Every
an
Alice in Wonderland live action thing is a trippy, weird thing.
Yeah. Let's get a new one. Oh, wait. No. I was thinking about those Disney ones. Those are probably bad. I want a new good one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Alice Through the Looking Glass.
That might be good.
It looked pretty good.
Pink did a cover of White Rabbit for the trailer.
Interesting.
Yeah, okay, go on.
All right. Well, my son fell asleep before it finished.
Ah,
and we stuck around for Hotel Transylvania 3.
yeah, of course.
Keep
you
in
did.
mind, just a couple of bros watching Hotel Transylvania 3 under the stars.
Yeah.
Um,
Very romantic.
yeah, sure, yeah. And it was like we laughed. I feel like I laughed more than is reasonable.
Yeah.
For Hotel Transylvania 3.
You have a weird,
It just worked for me.
a
I don't
weird
know.
track record watching these Hotel Transylvania
I know.
movies. Have
I
you seen the
know.
second one?
No, I haven't.
Even weirder then.
I know.
Was this a prequel?
No.
Okay.
That's what was
Yeah.
playing. That's what was playing.
A little backstory. Nick and I both saw the first Hotel Transylvania because it was my wife's birthday.
Yeah, January.
We had
January, keep in mind.
January. We had all gone out to eat for dinner.
Yeah.
Then we're like, let's go see a movie. We let her pick, and we were at the movie theater. And this is when like Saving Mr. Banks and a few other like that era of film was
Folks,
out.
there were many choices.
Yeah. And she picked Hotel Transylvania. And we're like, you're sure? And she like put her foot down.
yeah.
She's like, I want to see Hotel Transylvania.
She was like, this is happening.
So we went to another theater that was showing it because this was an October film in January. And we saw it. And we all laughed.
Yeah.
The lady up front who was alone and smoking was laughing her head off.
Yeah.
She thought everything was the funniest thing she'd ever seen.
Just to clarify, you mean like smoking?
yeah, she
right.
was like the voice of E.T.
Okay, not smoking in like the 90s sense where you're like,
No,
whoa.
she wasn't smoking hot.
Right.
Just by herself
Right.
watching Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah, as you
this
do,
wasn't a
as you
Seinfeld
do.
episode.
Uh,
That's a funny Seinfeld episode, though.
yeah.
Jerry goes to a movie. It's kind of funny, but there's just a very attractive woman by herself laughing. He goes to another not very good movie. There she is again laughing. Who is this very attractive woman that finds all these middling comedies hilarious?
I love that you're pitching a spec Seinfeld script.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's a pretty good one.
I'm all about it.
Is it Jerry or is it George?
I feel
this?
like it would have to be George.
Okay.
That would make more
Yeah.
sense. So anyway, we watched Hotel Transylvania 3 under the stars at a drive-in. I love a good drive-in.
Yeah.
Which
Do you think Jerry admits that he doesn't like comedy films?
Yeah, probably.
He's like, you come with me? He's like,
Yeah.
I don't do comedy.
You're trying too hard.
You're a comedian.
Yeah. Where's the audience?
Man, that's funny.
Let me tell you about another drive-in experience I had that was
Okay.
a long, long time ago. I want to say like maybe 10, 12 years ago.
All right.
Back when I worked at Willard Public Library in Battle Creek, Michigan.
Okay.
There was one drive-in that was far away, like an hour away in Coldwater. And we were just going to go and we would see no matter what. And so we watched SWAT, the Colin Firth remake of the old 70s TV show.
Colin Farrell.
Yes.
A Colin Firth
I would watch a
remake of
Colin
SWAT
Firth
is
SWAT.
different.
So we watched SWAT,
Guess that's
and then
Kingsman.
I think it was Jackie Chan's The Medallion
Ooh, geez.
afterwards. So it was a rough double feature.
Yeah.
But a lot of fun. It was a whole group of us student workers back in the day. One of which was my good friend Jennifer Jucky Posgate, and today's her birthday. So I just want to do a shout out and say happy birthday, Jucky.
Jackie.
Yes.
I saw Sky High and Valiant back to back.
Wow.
That was with the girlfriend I was dating at the time and her mom.
Yeah.
Valiant made me want to just like push my head into the ground.
I've
until
never seen Valiant, but
it's real
I
bad.
think you know that I have
a love for Sky
a love,
High.
yes, a very special love for Sky High. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Always
Couldn't
liked
tell
it. I just showed it to my son in the last year or so, and he was not as into it as I was, but
The very first
pretty strong.
drive-in movie I ever went to was Hercules, and then Jungle to Jungle.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
I don't know what my first one. Honestly, it might have been SWAT. I don't.
Oh wow.
I feel like we saw something else at that drive-in, but I don't remember
I saw
now.
Born Ultimatum with, we now pronounce you Larry and Steve.
Chuck and Larry.
Chuck and Larry. So.
All right, Larry and Steve. Why not?
Yeah, who's Larry and Steve?
Why not?
All right.
That's it.
That's the impression the movie made.
I did
on
watch one more
movie.
movie,
Go on.
but I gotta warn you, we're going to transition into some sad territory.
All right, go
All right.
ahead.
So I was so sad to learn that. Well, you told me that Neil Simon passed away. One of my all-time favorite playwrights. Have you read a lot of his stuff? I know we did a whole spotlight. Episode 45 it is, everyone. But
Yeah, I read Barefoot in the Park,
Yeah.
Odd Couple, Star Spangled, Jake's Women. What is the other one I read, though?
I don't
I'm
know.
going to tell you. I'd have
Okay.
to go to Goodreads.
All right.
To Goodreads. You talk.
Well,
I'll tell you what it was.
You know, whether I'm watching a Neil Simon movie or reading a script, he's the only playwright where as soon as I start reading it, I'm like instantly like casting and producing the show in my head. I think like, oh, this person would be great at this person would be great at this, because it just like
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, yes, Chapter 2 is good.
And Laughter on the 23rd Floor.
Okay. Oh, Chapter 2 has a Seinfeld one. One of Jerry's girlfriends writes him a note from Chapter 2.
Yes.
Claims it's her own. But anyway, whenever I read one of those, they just like, I just click with them, and I just want to go and like do a Neil Simon play. So last night I looked at the things I had that I either hadn't read or watched, and I had the movie The Last of the Red Hot Lovers, starring Alan Arkin. So we popped it in and watched it. It was so much fun.
Nice.
It's about a guy who runs a fish restaurant who decides like he should have an affair, and hilarity ensues.
How could it not?
Yeah.
A fish restaurant.
Yeah. So,
So
I don't know.
Is this a prequel to Fish Called Wanda?
Yeah, it is. It's a prequel.
Okay.
So this is adapted from his.
Is that Julianne Moore on the cover? Who is this?
I don't
Who
know.
are
It's
these
not
two ladies?
There were nobody I recognized.
Oh, okay.
They were no. I mean, I'm sure they were big in the '70s, but
Weren't we all?
but it was. I don't know. It was just it was a funny, quirky thing, and it more than I think any other adaptation I've watched felt like a play.
Oh.
I mean, they barely leave the apartment that it's set in.
All right.
So it's really easy to picture that becoming a play. But I don't know. I just really liked it, and I really like Neil Simon, and I was really sad to see that. So if you haven't listened to our full Neil Simon episode, it's the spotlight on our page, soundcloud.com/allthebooks.
What episode was that? That was a while ago.
Episode 45.
Wow.
We have the full cast of when we did
Were we
the
ever
Star
that
Spangled
young?
Girl together a couple years back, which Eric forgot was Neil Simon.
I
but
did forget that was Neil Simon.
Definitely is Neil Simon. So what? So I mean, you and I, our first Neil Simon collaboration was Jake's Women, which was 2010. It was so long ago.
Yeah.
Jake's Women, coincidentally, made into a movie starring Alan
Alan
Alda.
Alda.
There you go.
Wow.
I think he originated it on Broadway, too. And he's actually very good in the movie. But it's definitely a different take than what we did as well.
Yeah.
I would say Jake's Women is my favorite.
Okay.
Neil Simon. And you were so good in it. I mean, that
Thank
was
you, man.
just, that whole show was just so much fun to do. Don't you think?
Do I think it was I just put a picture up from Jake's Women, but it's
Nice.
huge.
Oh,
Don't I think what?
That it was just like working on that show was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like it's like an emotional roller coaster, but it's handled in such a good way.
Yes.
You know, like there's so much to explore, so I just really loved it.
Yeah.
So I think my top picks would be Jake's Women, The
Yep.
Odd Couple. I love The Star Spangled Girl, and I know you were always on the fence about it.
Yeah, I didn't love that,
And
but
I
we did
love
it.
Brighton Beach Memoirs,
Yeah.
another my favorite.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we did that, and then with Valley Theater here at the library, Mike Cox and I did The Odd Couple.
Yeah.
We'd been planning to do that so long that I turned from a Felix into an Oscar and ended up playing Oscar, which was not the original plan.
That's funny.
But we did.
That's Odd Couple funny.
Yeah,
Like,
thank you.
If you know, yeah.
Yeah. So we did that show in 3 different places. We did it in Houghton, we did it here, and we did it at the Angelica Free Library.
Wow.
So much fun. And then most recently, of course, you and I did The Star Spangled Girl
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
And you didn't really like it. But we had fun.
Yeah.
That-
Fun was had.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we have so many Neil Simon plays in the collection. If you've never read them, if you've only seen the movies, they're the kind of script that you really can just sit down and read
They put them in collections.
like
yeah.
a novel.
Nice.
I mean, it just, I don't know. The dialogue is just so good and so sharp that you don't even need the visual element, you know. So if you haven't read them, I would recommend reading them.
Yeah.
And of course, we have so many of the adaptations in the collection as well.
So
But
many.
Anyway,
Okay.
done with the sad news.
Yeah, it is
let's
sad.
Switch over to your bookmark.
Okay.
Pep us up. What have you been reading?
I've been reading The Life and Times of Neil Simon.
Mm-hmm.
No, I have not. I finished Forever Peace.
Oh, you did?
Forever Done.
Wow.
What's the song? Forever.
Forever Young?
Yeah, Forever Young. I'm not Forever Young.
You're not?
No, I'm much older than I was when I read this book
Oh, okay.
because it's been a while.
All right.
Look, I'm over it. Forever Peace by Joe Haldeman, who we're interviewing.
We are.
What's today?
This very week.
Frick, this week,
Yeah.
This Friday, I'm going to be interviewing Joe Haldeman, who also wrote Forever War, which won a Hugo award for best novel back in the 70s. Forever Peace, not a sequel, kind of about the idea that because we're allowed to share our consciousness a little bit through like jacking into this network.
Right.
If we stay, it's the idea that if the people stay connected for a longer period of time, you start getting an empathy level that will make it impossible for humanity to just be as terrible as we are. So it's kind of like curing humanity by forcing them to be empathetic.
Oh,
yes.
Interesting.
And it's the idea, like, how do you get all of humanity to do this?
Okay.
Because basically somebody invents like a doomsday weapon, and they're like,
Okay.
oh no, and if we don't, even if we don't like build this doomsday weapon, in the future somebody will figure it out and build it. So how do we stop humanity from destroying itself? We have to kill their desire to fight.
Interesting.
So it was good. It's I don't know
how did it stack up with Forever War?
I don't think it's going to stick with me the way Forever War has. But I'm glad I read it. And this is also a Hugo winner, but this was much more recently, 98, 99, I can't quite remember. So, yeah. Next up, I'm planning to read Forever Free. I'm going to sneeze. So can you vamp for a second?
So Forever Free, if
not
I
gonna
remember
say it
right,
right
is actually is a sequel to
Forever
War.
Free is a sequel to Forever War. We'll see. We'll see how it is.
Yes, we will.
Some people seem like they don't like it, but the description I read, I'm like, this sounds good. Even at the end where people are like, and then this happens, I'm like, oh, that sounds fun.
I mean, sometimes it's just expectations.
Yeah.
Maybe they're expecting it's going to be a different way.
Yeah.
But
I read a bunch of comics that I can't really like talk too much about. I read a bunch of 70s Marvel stuff. Is this for me?
no,
You just handed me
I
a slip of
I was
paper?
just getting it out of the way. That's just my list of
Don't
things to mention.
show face in public. What's that supposed to mean?
Well, it's just I think it's a good rule.
okay.
in general.
I am reading Venom, Separation Anxiety.
Perfect.
Marvel decided to put on their Unlimited app a bunch of Venom comics I haven't read.
Well, that's
So
actually relevant compared to some of the other choices.
yeah.
you've been
Well,
making.
yeah, I'm going to start reading Master of Kung Fu now.
You're gonna
They
have
put
to.
125 issues of it on.
Yeah.
So here we go.
No choice.
But yeah, Separation Anxiety is like, because I guess the way they did Venom comics in the 90s was he didn't have an ongoing series,
Okay.
but he had an ongoing series of miniseries.
Mhm.
So one would end and another one would start up the next month.
Okay.
So it's a little bit tricky figuring out like the reading order, but
Yeah.
luckily Unlimited, the app, puts them all in chronological order. So it's pretty easy for me to figure out.
Nice.
But that's it. Yeah, we got to read Forever Free. You and I might be reading Odds On together.
That's right.
The
Michael Crichton's debut.
Yeah.
What do you mean might?
no,
thought we were
I mean like I don't know how soon.
I see.
That's what I mean.
It's coming.
Yes, we both. It's when he was John Lang.
Yeah, writing under
Yeah.
the pseudonym John Lang, which I've read a couple. I've read Scratch 1 and I've read Binary. And they're not what you'd expect from Michael Crichton.
Right.
So more like spy espionage type stuff.
Sure.
I don't really know much about Odds On, but I've been wanting to read it for years. So.
You know what I don't know much about?
What?
This guy.
You just said I eat
Oh, that's
cheese
right.
and
Yeah, cheese and
like celebrity.
celebrity
biographies,
Yeah,
so
sure.
Keep it straight.
All right.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then let's turn it over to some book news.
Did I want to say something about comics?
You said a lot of things.
I'll say about
A lot
it
of
next
things
time.
about
Yeah.
comics.
Book news.
All right, so I've got a couple of advance notices for
Quit
you all. These are
bragging this episode.
I'm just-
there's
no other way
I have
to
this.
say
I
it.
did this. All right, go ahead.
Pulitzer Prize winning
My dad
author
works for Nintendo.
Elizabeth Berg is coming out with a sequel to what, you might ask? Let me tell
I
you.
just asked. Yeah.
The story of Arthur Truelove.
Huh.
So this is book 2 called Night of Miracles.
So this is a biography as well.
No, it's not.
Just kidding.
Let's see. A delightful novel about surprising friendships, community, and the way small acts of kindness can change a life. From the best-selling author of The Story of Arthur Truelove. So this will be coming out in, let's see, looks like November. So you've got a ways to wait. So if you haven't read Arthur Truelove, but you're an Elizabeth Berg fan, jump in.
Who isn't?
Get it going. Good question.
What else did she write? Didn't she
question.
write something recently? You know what? I'm thinking Kristen Hanna.
Oh, Kristen Hanna writes lots of things.
Yeah, well,
but
that's who I was thinking of.
Elizabeth Berg wrote,
No, I'm all right.
no, you'll know.
Okay.
Olive Kittredge is
Sure.
one.
Yeah, read that.
The Burgess
No, I didn't read those.
boys. Okay. All right.
All right.
And what else do we have?
You have two other things.
I know.
Barbara.
Barbara Taylor Bradford.
Nice.
This is a start of a new series for her, The House of Falconer. And this is called Master of
You
His
will be the
Fate.
reader, and I will be the falconer.
Yes.
Okay, shut up.
Yeah,
that
this
was relevant.
It's about the Will Forte character, the Falconer from
Hey, I'm sorry.
early
I said shut up
2000s
on the
Saturday
podcast.
Night Live. No, it's okay. I
All
want
right.
people to know the way you talk to me. Victorian England is a country of sharp divides between rich and poor, but James Lionel Falconer is everything a self-made man should be. Handsome, ambitious, charming, and brimming with self-confidence. like Alan Alda.
And Will Forte.
Even as a boy working in his father's market stall in Camden, he is determined to become a merchant prince. Though hardworking and single-minded determination, James rises quickly through the ranks with a loving wife, devoted children, and a lofty position in the Malvern and Malvern Company. That's two Malverns working together.
Right, yeah, that makes them even stronger.
But when back-to-back tragedies strike the Falconer's home, shattering his idyllic life, it seems as though James might never recover his former glory, until a royal summons gives him the chance to prove that he is truly a master of the game and the leader of the House of Falconer.
Nice.
I made up that last part.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I didn't know if
I noticed that.
I didn't know if you did. And finally...
Speaking of tragedy, do you feel bad for people when they lose their vacation homes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I understand your point. It's
Right.
like it's a vacation home. But
Right.
still, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of property damage, a lot of mementos you can't get back.
Yeah. All right, well, now I've learned
Yeah.
you're a snob.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
You're not a snob.
I'm a regular
Do you have a
Alan-
vacation home?
Regular Alan Aldo over here.
You dream of one.
Yeah, I do dream of one. I'd love to have a little cabin somewhere.
Yeah.
You want to go halvesies?
On a little cabin
Yeah, a
somewhere?
little cabin somewhere.
But it'd be your vacation home.
Well, you could use it sometimes too. We timeshare it.
Oh, all right.
Just sign this right here.
Okay. Wait, this is me not showing my face in public again.
I know. And finally, now this one is going to disappoint you because as a big a fan as you are of Sneaky Pie Brown,
Right. The cat.
the cat who writes mysteries.
This is silly.
As much as you like Sneaky Pie Brown,
Go on.
you dislike Rita Mae Brown.
Oh, no.
And
But
this
they
is-
usually balance each other out.
But this time, Rita's going solo.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Good luck landing on your feet this time.
I just like the way the cat sees things in a different light.
He does.
It helps me kind of understand
Yeah.
like everyday things that I
Yeah.
don't even notice. Like, oh, you know what? Green peppers do look funny.
Yeah. He uses his difference to highlight our similarities.
Yeah. Yeah.
God bless that cat. Homeward Bound. I'm sorry.
Nope. You
I'm
missed the
sorry.
pun. You missed the pun.
I'm sorry.
This is
All
a punny title.
Homeward Hound.
There we go. Why didn't they call Homeward Bound Homeward Hound?
Homeward
There's two dogs in
Hound.
it.
Yeah. I guess.
What was it called originally?
Incredible Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that one good?
I've never seen it.
They don't talk in the old one.
Oh, don't they?
I would assume not.
I've seen Homeward Bound and the one where they're lost in San Francisco.
That's Homeward Bound
and they
2.
meet Sinbad.
Oh, it's so bad. Homeward Bound 2 was not good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's Michael J. Fox, though. Michael J. Fox and Sally
No,
Field and
it's-
their friend. I don't
It's
know.
like All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 is just so much worse.
Is it dark? Is there a lot of hellscape in that? Because that's...
There is hell, but it's cats.
Oh.
It's not funny. It's not good
Okay.
either.
Back to Homeward Hound.
I remember this is stupid. I'm sorry, but in All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, at the end, Charlie kisses the girl dog.
Yeah.
And they kiss like people, and it made me mad
That's weird.
because I'm like, that's stupid. They would lick each other.
That's Burt Reynolds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I love a good... Well, one is Burt Reynolds and one is Sally Field.
Go on.
They had that ill-fated love.
Oh,
Yeah. He still regrets it.
does he?
Anytime anybody talks to Burt Reynolds, he's like, I should have never let Sally Field go.
Yeah.
Turd Ferguson's big hat. It's fine.
Jack Nicholson feels that way about the woman from the movies.
Faye Dunaway?
No, the movies. The not Ace Ventura, but the Addams Family movies.
Oh, Angelica Houston?
Yes, he feels that way about Angelica Houston.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read you the synopsis of Homeward Hound.
Sorry.
I'm not going to do it. A mystery full of colorful characters, both two- and four-legged. Gorgeous country landscapes,
I don't
timeless
understand the
traditions, and the
cover.
breathtaking thrill of the fox hunt. From the New York Times bestselling author of Crazy Like a Fox.
The cover's weird.
It's not even
It's
trying.
just it's a fox, but it's a fox like a man.
Yeah,
It's a man fox.
It's a man fox who has a cute little cottage.
Yeah, but he's
And
surrounded by hounds.
It
You think
seems
the
like
hounds would be
it's
freaking out?
snowing, but also they're at a snow carnival.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is what happens when you take Sneaky Pie, the cat,
Yeah, you
out
take
of the
Sneaky
mix.
Pie out of the equation. and-
Yeah. He in his contract, any book he writes, he has control over the cover, and I think it shows.
Yeah,
in
I think it
Homeward
does
Hound.
too.
All
I
right,
think it does too. Absolutely.
we're really taught Sneaky Pie co-author of a lesson.
All right.
All right,
So now we know what's coming out in a couple of months. Let's find
Yeah.
out what's new and hot today
new and hot
with
today.
today's kids.
We got a lot of return entries on the New York Times bestsellers for hardcover fiction.
Return of the Mac.
Okay, well, dropped from 2 to 10, we have Catherine Coulter's Paradox. That's not a paradox.
No paradox there.
Oh,
People
snap.
don't like the book.
It's,
What if you said it's dropped from 2 to 1?
Mhm.
That'd be a paradox because you can't drop up.
Yeah.
But you can in Catherine Coulter's World of Paradox.
In the 22nd book of the FBI thriller series,
Pretty good
Agents
run.
Sherlock and Savage look for an escaped psychopath. Of course. What was that?
Gotta find. I was just looking for an escaped psychopath.
That was your escaped psycho?
Well, I
going
think
like,
they're scared.
All right. Well, number 9 is Cottage by the Sea by Debbie McCumber.
Yeah, I still want to read
There's
it.
a vacation home for you.
Perfect.
Little cottage by the sea.
Debbie
Go
McCumber.
there. Forget about
Just
your worries
me
and your
Debbie
stripes.
McCumber.
Who?
Debbie McCumber?
You and Debbie McCumber are sharing this. All right. Little Fires Everywhere is back on the list.
Is it really?
Yeah, it hasn't gone anywhere.
Oh.
I mean, it was off the top 10,
Yeah.
but it's back.
Huh.
45 weeks on the list. Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste NG,
NG.
has returned.
Yeah.
Also,
I have that in the hopper. As soon as I finish my Diane Keaton book, that's
The
my
what?
next hopper. That one's
Mhm.
on deck.
Okay.
It's next.
What's the hopper?
I don't know.
Like,
don't
I know what a deck is.
Yeah.
What's a hopper?
I don't know.
What if you say, hey, get that off the hopper?
Is that next? Hold
All right.
on.
Number 7, Before We Were Yours by
Oh,
Lisa
hold on.
Wingate.
Hold on.
Wingate.
Okay. A
Uh-huh.
hopper is a chute for incoming work or material to be processed.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you
That's
got it
what
on the
works.
hopper.
Yep. it's on the hopper.
Number 6, Daniel Silva.
Very
Man,
good.
that was hard.
Very
the other
good.
woman.
I saw the smoke coming out.
Yeah. My brain was like, do not say Danielle.
Yeah.
All right. So number 5 is new this week. It's your favorite Lisa Scottaline. She's back. Mary DiNuzio and Bernie Rosetto must solve a murder and handle a reverse sex discrimination suit against their firm. So there you go. Number 5, Lisa Scottaline. Straight from the headlines to this paper
Yep.
to your ears,
Yep.
to your eyes. Unless it's an audiobook, then it is your ears.
Yeah. You're right.
Number 4, I got to get off this train. Stephen King, The Outsider.
Mm-hmm.
How's Castle Rock been treating you?
Pretty good, actually. The last episode, the one focusing on Sissy SpaceX character, was great.
Okay.
That finally became like the show I wanted it to become. I still feel like it's missing a central like guiding light,
Uh-huh.
you know, or guiding darkness.
Uh-huh.
But I haven't read the books. I haven't read any of the books that have the Alan character in
Okay.
them. So I don't, it could be referencing things I'm not getting.
We're adding to the collection the first season of Mr. Mercedes.
But okay.
You like that first book.
No. The
No.
first book I was okay with.
Uh-huh.
I loved Finders Keepers.
Oh.
And End of Watch is dumb.
Okay. Well, number 3 on the New York Times
Just
bestsellers list is Sandra Brown, Tailspin. Not Tailspin. No. You don't even remember how that theme song goes.
Of course I do. I was just doing it in my head.
That doesn't. Okay. You know what I just did in my head? A bunch
Friends
of math.
for life,
Oh.
too thick and thin, and another
And a
tailspin. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yo.
Number 3. All right, so Tailspin. A pilot navigates treacherous situations when he
I mean-
attempts to deliver a mysterious black box
Yeah.
to a doctor in Georgia.
To Shere Khan.
To Shere Khan, along with Kid Cloud Kicker.
Yep. They stopped by Louis to fill up.
Man, I loved the idea that Louis was just a floating like sky bar
Yeah.
gas station.
Yep.
To me as a kid, I was like, sure, that's a real thing. I'm gonna go to one someday. I did not. Number 2, Bill Clinton and James Patterson have been knocked from first place. The president is missing from first place.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
I wish I had one of those horseshoe flower arrangements to put over
Put
your
around-
neck,
yeah.
for that was perfect.
thank you, man. So yeah, the president missing is moved to second place, but I mean, it's still there.
Yeah.
It's never going away. Hey, I'm going to ask you a question. Who do you think could knock Bill Clinton and James Patterson from the top spot?
My guess is always going to be Danielle Steele.
Well, the answer is James Patterson and Andrew Borrell
Oh my
in
gosh.
Texas Ranger,
This
and
man.
not the Texas Ranger you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Rory Yates' job and reputation are at risk when he is accused of killing his ex-wife.
Chuck Norris.
Um,
Chuck Norris killed his ex-wife? James Patterson killed Chuck Norris's ex-wife.
What?
Oh,
No.
he's in trouble.
you're mixing up books and
I am?
TV and real life.
Oh, okay. All
All
right.
together.
So James Patterson is the hero of the book,
Yeah.
and he's fighting. Was it Clint McGavin who he's fighting?
Clint McGavin's an All the Book Show original cowboy lawyer.
Yeah, but I thought maybe we
Yeah.
licensed him.
He's going up against. Look,
The-
this is
the
this is
Texas Ranger?
this is misinformation
You're
at its
right. I'm
highest.
sorry. Right.
So yeah, James Patterson has dethroned James Patterson, as is the way. Now James Patterson must kill James Patterson to become the one true James Patterson.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
you left me alone, just floating in that
The one
stupid
true
bit.
James Patterson.
That weird Highlander, not Highlander. Let's move on.
Okay. I want to transition into something sad real quick, and then we'll
What?
get to the Hugo.
Another sad thing?
Yes, because we just lost John McCain, longtime senator from Arizona, a couple of times presidential hopeful. And I wanted to mention there's a couple of books. He had a recent one that came out, The Restless Wave, Good Times, Just Causes, Great Fights, and Other Appreciations. Many books on, about, by John McCain that you can check out, including 13 Soldiers, A Personal History of Americans at War, Faith of My Fathers by John McCain, and Why Courage Matters, also by John McCain. So we have several of these, and any that we don't have, we can get for you, as always. All right. Shall we talk about the Hugos?
Crazy Rich Asians is number 1 on the combined
you didn't say it. Oh,
ebook.
okay. All right.
No, I didn't say that. That's because it's paperback.
Oh, see.
But it's at number 1 for the combined ebook.
Well,
and
the holds
paperback
on it have
fiction.
been off the charts, and the movie's been very popular. So, yeah.
So, because we only do the hardcover fiction.
Yeah.
So sometimes the other lists are a better example of like where the zeitgeist. Did I say that right?
Zeitgeist.
The zeitgeist is. So
yeah, you're right.
So that one. I guess also the nonfiction list is a pretty good idea. So unfortunately. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get on to our segment.
Let's do it.
Because I ran out of steam, like in the middle of that.
Well, you know what will help?
Yeah.
A little bit of music.
And a little bit of America by my side.
Okay, all right, thank you.
A little bit.
Thank you. All right, well,
That's what I see.
thank you for Mambo number 5. That was
a real bad Mambo number 5.
That always brightens up the world a little bit.
Hands to the side.
Yeah.
1 step left and 1 step right. Okay.
All right. Today, folks, we're going to be talking about the 2018 Hugo Awards.
Yeah.
So we talked about nebulas earlier this year, and now
Did we already talk about the nebulas?
we did. We're
Wow.
going to be turning our
Where does time
attention
go?
to the Hugo Awards.
Yeah.
I would like to save Best Novel for last. So why don't we
That's how it
jump
works, yeah.
right into, where would you like to start? You take it. You drive this bus.
Me?
Yeah, I'll just come along for the ride.
Oh.
too long, too
No,
long.
all right. Let's see what won Best Dramatic Presentation short form.
Well, okay.
So this is when the Hugo Awards give the award out for mainly television shows,
Yep.
like a best episode, not necessarily a season. Boy, my nose itchy.
Is it? Is
Sorry.
it now?
The winner, I can tell you.
Let's
All right.
go over the nominees.
Star Trek Discovery, magic to make the sanest man go mad.
Yes, and you know what?
Uh-huh.
That was the one, I think, that was like, okay,
Uh-huh.
all right, now I'm in. That is a great episode.
Okay.
That was the first one that I really was like, that felt like Star Trek, and I loved it. It was
Mm-hmm.
great. So yes.
Well, we're
I'm
talking a lot about a loser.
I'm glad that it was nominated.
Okay. That was the only one that was nominated too. The Good Place by Michael's Gambit. I haven't watched Good Place season 2.
Good place, TV show with Ted Danson,
Kristen Bell.
Christian
I've
Bell.
only watched the first 4 episodes. I
haven't
keep
watched
meaning
it.
to get
Yeah,
to it.
I watched
Doctor
it.
Who, Twice Upon a Time, written by Stephen Moffat. I don't know any. Yeah, I haven't watched any of the new stuff.
Oh, this next one is a song,
Yeah,
"The Deep"
Yeah.
by Clipping.
I should have listened to this.
I don't
I'm
know
gonna
anything
go
about
listen
that.
to it right after this podcast.
I think you should. And Black Mirror.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, me a
Yeah.
Black Mirror.
Ah.
USS. Oh, Callister. Yes, I didn't watch this. My wife watches Black Mirror. It's
Yeah.
too dark for me.
Yeah.
But this would be the Star Trek-ish
Okay.
episode.
All right.
I think something crazy. I mean, something crazy always happens, and
Right.
we realize technology is just society or whatnot.
Mhm.
But yeah, she really liked that episode. So
Nice. All right, and give us the winner.
the winner is The Good Place, The Trolley Problem. So
Wow, it's interesting that with all the sci-fi that's
Anticlimactic.
out there right now, The Good Place takes 2 of the slots.
yeah,
And the trophy. Is
Yeah.
there a trophy involved? I assume.
yeah. There's a trophy.
Okay.
Or, yeah. It looks like a rocket ship.
All right.
Did you want to sing Rocket?
I'm
taking
taking
a
a rocket. Yeah.
For
Classic.
fun and adventure.
Classic Tracy
All
Morgan right there.
This is best dramatic presentation, long form.
I've got a confession about this.
Uh-huh.
I have seen all but one of these.
Same.
And I was so close, you
Yeah.
know, and I saw this. I saw
almost-
the nominations.
Yeah, I almost caught up yesterday.
I know, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just
Yeah.
going to watch it. But I could not bring myself to care about
Yeah.
or invest the 4 to 8 hours involved in watching Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, I want to watch Blade Runner 2049, but what happened was I looked at the time and I was like, this won't be done until 6:30. I got things to do.
Yeah.
So it's just, yes. And
Well,
you know what? I just
yeah.
watched 5 Marvel films within 2 days
Yeah.
with a visiting friend.
Shout
And
out
one
to
of them-
Glenn.
One of those includes Infinity War.
Yeah.
So, like, but like the
You'll do
idea that I don't really love Blade Runner. I don't like Blade Runner.
I don't like Blade Runner either.
I
I'm
like
sorry.
the short story. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Right.
I like that, but the movie for me, it's just kind of a snore fest.
Oh, I agree.
So
That's the thing. I mean, I know I expressed this to you, but if this was just a new like Blade Runner thing, if it wasn't like a direct sequel,
Yeah.
and from
or
everything,
not Blade Runner,
right?
Just something else.
But
like
from
Blade
every
Runner.
impression that I've gotten, it seems like it's pretty tied to the
Yeah.
first one, you know.
Yeah.
So like, I just wasn't interested in that. So
Yeah.
to come back again to watch something so long.
Yeah. Also, I'm fed up with Jared Leto.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well,
Just fed up about hearing him. Apparently, he like did a thing where he could like blind himself because his character is blind in the movie, and it's just like people need to help him on stage and everything. It's like, well, then if you're gonna do that, hire
Right.
a blind actor
Right,
who
right.
knows how to get around
Yeah,
things because they've lived with that. Not this,
pretty
dope
silly.
who thinks he's the second coming.
yeah.
Anyway, let's do the best dramatic presentation nominees.
All right,
Thor
so they-
Ragnarok.
Yep. Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Haha, I made you read the title.
Hate it.
Hate
that movie.
You're stupid.
I hate it.
You're stupid.
I hate it.
The Shape of Water.
I'm sorry. You were
I read
just-
The Shape of Water.
You were screaming at me for so long
Yeah.
that I
Go
I
on.
lost it. Oh, Get Out.
Yeah.
No, please. I can handle the rest of the show. Get Out.
Oh.
And never show your face again.
Blade Runner 2049.
And the winner,
You just went rush.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Screenplay by Alan Heinberg. Story by Zack Snyder and Alan Heinberg. And Jason Fuchs, I want to say.
Directed by Patty Jenkins.
Directed by Patty Jenkins.
I'm
how do you feel about that?
I'm kind of surprised because it's also like the least sci-fi.
Agreed.
It's much more fantasy.
Yes.
But out of the superhero films, well, Black Panther wasn't nominated. Oh, you know what? That's because it's this year.
Oh, okay.
So this was the last year.
Okay.
So I guess out of that year, yeah, it was probably the best one to be nominated out of the
Okay.
I'm always with the best dramatic presentation. I'm never a fan of superhero movies winning as much as I love them.
Okay.
Because there's so much good like sci-fi.
Right.
Like Get Out has a lot more sci-fi
Okay.
than, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm never opposed to Wonder Woman winning an award,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
all right, let's look at Best
There you go.
Graphic Story. I have read a couple of these.
Yeah. Saga Volume 7. I've read it.
You have?
Yeah.
Paper Girls Volume 3.
We both
I've read it.
Yeah. My favorite things is monsters.
Black Bolt Volume 1, Hard Time. And you know what?
Huh?
I've read it.
Yeah.
I don't get why I don't get why anybody likes it. But
Oh, okay. Saladin Hamed, who wrote Black Bolt,
Oh.
he wrote The Throne of the Crescent Moon, which was nominated for a Hugo Best Novel a few years ago. I suggested you get that for the library.
oh, thank you.
You didn't listen.
Maybe I did.
Can you read this title? This next one?
Bitch Planet. Volume 2, President Bitch.
What
Okay,
you just
that's the
said.
title.
That's what
That
you
is the
just
title.
said that on the podcast. Oh, no, I was about to say number one. The winner is, we have both of these in the library. In the first book, one last year, Monstrous, Volume 2, The Blood, written by
Marjorie M. Liu.
Marjorie M. Liu, yes. We have
So
both of
are you a
these.
fan of these?
I haven't read them yet.
Oh, you haven't?
I kept meaning to, and they're very thick.
Okay.
Like, they're full. You can see why they've taken so long enough that she won for Volume 1 last year.
All right.
Best related works. This
So
can
these-
be anything.
All right. Sleeping with Monsters. Readings and Reactions in Science Fiction and Fantasy by Liz Bork.
Yeah. Luminescent Threads. Connections to Octavia E. Butler.
A Lit Fuse, The Provocative Life of Harlan Ellison, who I know from City on the Edge of Forever Star Trek fame.
That's how you know.
It is.
Ian M. Banks.
Modern Masters of Science
Oh,
Fiction, I
okay.
guess. Crash Override, How Gamergate Nearly Destroyed My Life, and How We Can Win the Fight Against Online Hate by Zoe Quinn.
Yeah, Gamergate was bad news.
Okay.
A lot of dumb people
I
in
don't know
there.
anything about that.
It was a big stupid thing. No Time to Spare. Thinking About What Matters by Ursula K. Le Guin wins. So
Winner.
I guess this must be her biography.
I guess so.
So, best series, The Stormlight Archive. Oh, is this new? Is best series new?
I think it is. Or it's at least it's newer. It's
I don't remember this
new-ish.
last year because a few years ago we talked about this. Wheel of Time, the
Right.
whole series was nominated
Yeah.
because none of the books had been nominated. So
Right.
when it was done, it was able to be nominated as a complete work. So yeah, this does seem this seems like a new category. But anyways, best series.
Did you say Siri?
Stop. So the Stormlight Archive was nominated by Brandon Sanderson.
Okay.
Go on.
I will. And Memoirs of Lady Trent by Marie Brennan.
Encrypted by Sheenan McGuire.
All right. And The Book of Rascura by Martha Wells.
The Divine Cities by Robert Jackson Bennett.
And
the winner
The winner. Take it away.
for best series, World of the Five Gods by Louise McMaster Bejeweled.
Bejeweled.
Bejeweled. All right.
Now, if I remember right, we did a Lonely Hearts book club with that author. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what the book was.
She
trying
Make
to
Way
look it
for the
up.
Giraffes?
No, it was a sci-fi book. It was like, well, I can't remember what it was now, but we did.
Well, let's talk about the short stories.
All right.
Okay, we don't have to.
No, let's do it.
Nick and I read all the short stories, so
did.
we can get a little bit more in depth with the short stories.
We sure can.
So let's do that. Let's
All
get
right.
into them. So what's the first one?
Sun, Moon, Dust by Ursula Vernon. So what did you think of this one?
Sun, Moon. Oh, I liked it.
Yeah.
So Sun, Moon, Dust is a story about a boy inheriting a sword. The sword has different, I don't know, spirits
Yeah, I guess.
that are living in it, and they're awoken, and now they think they get to go to war, but the boy who's inherited the sword doesn't want to. He wants to be a farmer.
Yeah, see, and I like that because I thought that it took a well-known trope. I mean, you can say Luke Skywalker, or you can say Rand and the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
You know, where they're like they want to go off and have this adventure.
This time the
and
chosen
this guy
one,
was just kind of like, but I have to. Who's gonna harvest the potatoes if I leave?
Yeah.
The heroes need food.
Yeah. And
Papa's
one of
gotta
the
make food. I don't know. I liked it.
two of the other spirits are like, all right, back to like 90 years of sleep. And one of them is like, I like to be a farmer.
Yeah.
I like to not experience war.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did like it.
Yeah.
All right, next.
The Martian Obelisk by Linda Nagata. This one didn't do a whole lot for me.
I liked the idea.
I did
so
too.
The idea is that humanity is about to die off, and so the main character is working to build an obelisk on Mars. And they're building it in a way that it's gonna last hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
It's gonna outlive the rest of humanity. It's gonna be the last, like, buildings on Earth will collapse, but this thing will still be standing.
Yeah.
But then she has to make a choice of whether or not to keep building it or maybe save her own humanity.
Right.
So
Yeah, like you're saying, the premise is so good.
yeah,
Like just as you describe it, I think like, wow, that sounds great. But I don't know. I didn't feel it didn't do much for me.
yeah.
I guess some of the others really did.
Well, it didn't win.
You're right. Phantom of Robots by Veena Jaimin Prasad.
Hey, this might be
Thoughts?
my favorite.
I wondered if it would be.
Yeah, it's
not really my jam, but
it's funny and it's sweet
yeah,
and it's a little bit sad.
yeah,
It didn't win.
yeah.
But
It's just kind of a take on online fandom and communities.
yeah, well, I like the idea that so it's about a computer robot, and he's in a place where other robots are being tested for intelligence, and they have to pass the mirror test. And at one point, somebody asked him if he's ever seen this Japanese anime, and so he looks it up, and he becomes like very obsessed with it as a robot. He gets really into it. He gets into fandom.
Yeah,
He even attempts to write fan fiction, but he doesn't have emotional cores, so he can't hate or anything. So it's just funny how into it he is without having the emotion core. But it's what I liked about it was that all these other robots are failing the mirror test.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have an emotional core, but he's like, he becomes a fan of something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
He's a personality.
Right.
He's a individual because he's now a fan of something.
I thought it was well done.
So I liked that. I like the idea that the mirror test could be like, do you like Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah.
So, all right.
Next, Clearly Lettered in a Mostly Steady Hand by Fran Wilde. And I've got to admit, this is the one that did nothing for me.
I didn't understand it.
I just,
Butterflies?
I guess.
Yes.
I don't know.
Sometimes when you read a Hugo short story or novella or novelet, sometimes the whole novel, you realize somebody had a dream, woke up, put it in their dream journal, and was like, Mr. Editor,
I'm going to do it.
Check this out.
I will say the next one, Carnival 9 by Carolyn M. Joachim, that one kind of ruined my whole day.
The Carnival 9?
Yeah.
Made you cry?
It didn't make me cry, but I just kept thinking about it. It just stuck with me and made me sad.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're a parent.
Yeah.
It's a parent story.
Yes, it is.
So in this story, are you crying right now?
No.
Okay. Are you?
No.
Are you? Okay. The people in this story, they have like joints. They have gears almost. It's like they're toy soldiers, and they have to be winded. And to do everything, they have to use up their turns that have been like winded into them.
Right.
And this girl, she meets a boy in a circus and everything, and they decide to build a child, but the child doesn't have his full amount of terms. He's like slightly defective.
Yeah.
So she spends most of her life giving him
using her turns
to help him get around and see things and have his own life. And yeah, it's very sad. It's about like sacrifice and the things you can't do. It's kind of like the story. Oh, are you okay?
Oh my God.
It's allergies.
Yes.
It's allergies.
Yes.
It's kind of like Up, with the messages like the adventure you have is with someone, not somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that was the first one, right? The first one in the collection we read. Yeah.
I just put that together. That's not like a real collection. You can find all of these spread out online. Most of the magazines they're published in, Uncanny, Beneath Ceaseless Skies, one is on Tor.com.
Right.
You can find the full text to these online. So if you're interested in any of them, just do a quick Google search and you can find it.
Yeah.
The winner, Welcome to Your Authentic Indian Experience, trademark by Rebecca Roanhorse. What did you want to win? This was in Apex, by the way.
Well, I told you I like the robot story.
That was the one you'd give it to?
Yeah.
I think this one was the best.
Yeah.
With a close second, Carnival 9.
Yeah. So the short story is, it's kind of like Minority Report.
Yeah, a little bit.
In that you can, I guess not Minority Report. There's a section in the movie.
Subsection.
I'm trying to think of something like, basically you go have like a VR.
Like Total Recall.
Yeah, experience of anything you want. And these people offer the authentic Indian experience. But like anything, it's an authentic Indian experience that's seen through like the white man's eyes of what they think an authentic experience is. It's almost like the argument they do in the Jurassic Park
It's
book.
like cultural appropriation.
Yeah. In Jurassic Park, remember Henry Wu wants to make the dinosaurs slower.
Oh, yeah.
And like change things genetically because he thinks people will come and think like they move too fast. These aren't real.
Right.
And Hammond's like, this is the real thing.
Right.
So it's kind of like that. And then it just kind of turns out like the authentic Indian experience sucks.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like there's some twists that come along.
Yeah, there are some.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes to places that I wasn't anticipating. I just thought it was very well done.
Yeah.
It has sort of a haunting feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening to this, odds are you are a podcast fan. But LeVar Burton Reads is a podcast where LeVar Burton of Roots and Star Trek and Reading Rainbow fame reads short stories, and this is one that he reads.
Yeah.
And his reading of it is excellent. So if you're interested in hearing this one, just search for that and give it a listen.
Every time I read the short stories for the Hugo Awards, I'm always like, I should read more short sci-fi stories.
I know. I kind of felt that one too.
Because I really, really liked reading all of these. Even the ones I didn't, I guess even reading the one I didn't get.
Yeah.
I'm still glad I read the rest.
Yeah.
I read 5 other good stories. So, yeah, welcome to the Authentic Indian Experience, one short story. That was a good choice. Good job, Hugo voters.
Agreed.
But again, that robot one it's just fun.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, Carnival 9. I know.
No, the robot fandom.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Carnival 9. It is a sad one.
Yeah.
I'll make my mom read that.
All right. Let's see. What else do we have here?
We got the novellas and the novelettes.
Novel. Let's just do the winners for this.
All right.
Huh?
Secret Life of Bots by Suzanne Palmer.
Won the best novelette.
Yep. And best novella.
All Systems Red by Martha Wells.
Yeah.
I was going to read that one, and then I just never got around to it. But
anyway. I wish I had gotten the packet again, because when I got the packet that one year, they give you all the novellas
that's right.
and novelettes. And you, like, reading those.
How much is it? Do you know?
It's a membership.
Okay.
And I can't remember how, maybe like $100.
Okay.
Maybe less. Maybe it was like $75.
I have no idea.
It was just like, the year I did it, I got all the Wheel of Time books in PDF form. So it was very worth it for me just for those. But then, once you get the packet, you're able to vote. So if you care about the Hugo Awards, next year, check out the WorldCon and whatnot. All right, so the best novels.
Would you like to quickly mention the retro Hugo winners? For this
I didn't look that one up. Yeah,
I will tell you then.
All right.
So basically, the retro Hugos,
they weren't around until the 60s.
They're going back and they're giving awards for this year. It's 1943.
Yeah.
So the winner that year was Beyond This Horizon by Anson McDonald.
Yeah, I haven't heard of
which
that.
apparently is Robert Heinlein.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go.
Yeah.
Once I finish reading the Hugos, I guess I'll go through the retro ones. So
okay.
Good
idea.
All right. So the best novels, you got Six Wakes by Mur Lafty.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you read this one.
Raven Stratagem by Yoon Ha Lee.
Province by Anne Leckie. Anne
Now,
Leckie
those-
wrote
yeah.
the Ancillary, but this must be a
Ancillary
new
Justice
book.
and things,
Ancillary
yep.
Justice, Ancillary Sword.
Now I remember the next one, New York 2140, has done pretty well for us, checkout wise.
Yeah,
Seems like it's been pretty popular.
yeah, that's the one about New York being kind of like a. I mean, it's not an underwater city, but a lot of it is underwater. So like, it's people surviving in a New York City that's like 25% or more underwater. The Collapsing Empire by John Scalzi, and I can't remember.
Is this part of like the Old Man's War?
I'm not sure.
series or
Sometimes he
anything?
comes back to it, and sometimes he doesn't. So
Okay.
he's usually on these lists.
Yeah.
And then the winner.
This is great news for Eric. Oh, you know what? Let me mention. The Collapsing Empire is a new series for Scalzi. It's the first in the Interdependency series. So,
Oh, okay.
That's
So
all.
it's a new series.
and Eric, big fan of these, read the first book.
Yeah,
Uh,
I did.
so this is the first, let's just say it, N.K. Jemison's The Stone Sky.
The Stone
wins.
Sky.
She's three-peating, isn't she?
She is the first, as far as I understand, she's the first person to win 3 in a row for a series.
Yeah.
Or
It's
just
a pretty
3 in a
big
row. Yeah. So yes, it is a big deal. Like there are people who have won multiple times, but she's won, all these times.
Yeah, I mean, for a series to win back to back to back like that,
Yeah.
anybody who doesn't like this series is a real idiot.
Yeah,
Real
that's
dumb
what it's
jerk.
feeling
No,
like.
just
So,
I don't remember. Why did you not like it?
it was just long. I didn't like her writing style. I just was not into the first book.
Okay.
But maybe but the first book ended with a kind of cool coda. So maybe, and it had a twist that I like saw, at the beginning of the book. I'm like,
Okay.
it's this, it's this, it's this. And then it's like, it's this. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So maybe I'll like the second and third book. When I read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, I didn't really care for the first book or Steelheart.
Okay.
By him, and then I ended up really liking the second ones. So maybe N.K. Jemisin will win me back.
Maybe you'll come around.
But I mean, it's a big deal. Yeah, the Stone Sky. So I can't remember what the second book is called. The Obelisk Gate,
That sounds
Obsidian
right.
Gate. It's something like that. So she won. Yeah, 3 in a row. That is a big deal. I hope it's a trilogy though.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's exciting.
Yes.
Exciting for you.
yep. So that's the Hugo Awards,
Okay.
brah.
All right. So I mean, you're gonna read this, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna read them all.
That's cool.
So I mean, I've already read the first one. So
That is cool.
yeah.
Well, you can find the full list as well as the full list of retro Hugos,
Yeah.
past winners, information on how to vote, how to become a member at thehugooawards.org. So if you want to know more, that's the place to look.
I do.
All right.
All right.
Well, that concludes our Hugo segment.
That concludes the podcast.
It does.
Yeah. Sorry, I said concludes,
You did.
but I didn't know what that meant. It's
You
not
did.
a word.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in. Remember to check out some Neil Simon books, which we have quite a few, including memoirs here.
Yeah.
And I guess that's going to do it.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. You didn't do library news, you fool.
Well, I know, but I thought we were running late. And
Yeah, we were at an hour.
yeah, so that's good.
All right.
We capped it.
Well, we're not going to share the library news with the stream.
Yeah, we're not even going to tell them.
I mean, yeah. The stuff is happening at the library if you're in the area.
Yeah, I guess I could have mentioned that these are the books we're doing for book club.
Yeah, not
but
nobody will know.
I didn't. What
All
are you
right.
gonna
It's all right.
do? All right.
Everybody, thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you next week.
We
Oh,
will.
or come see me. Dusk versus Tweak. Streaming every night. Final
Check 'em
Fantasy
out
12.
every night.
All right. There we go. Let's go.
Bye.